My name is Delo, and the brand is Fluid Supply, and we did the brake fluid drop, the first drop for the fluid supply. I knew that systems existed, but I didn't really do my due diligence in terms of trying to find out the information and go through the process of a system. But I think this time around, in working with you on this, it was really helpful because, especially for the how to create a system outside of the ad, like the buying ads, and doing it in the way that's more so like instructed via Instagram or whatever, and kind of things that are readily available, and being able to actually find a system so that my brain kind of goes in a lot of different places. I think sometimes being a creative, your brain goes into all these different places, and it can be hard to also just focus on, like, okay, just drop this in this bucket, and that, like, already having the buckets laid out to be able to drop any of the pieces into it. The system has been the biggest help for me, just so that I can not necessarily overthink that part and just know that I got to fill these blanks in. What I made this weekend, I did half of that in a month last drop, roughly about half, a little more than half, but like, it definitely took longer to be able to make the amount of money that I made in 3 days for the drop. Specifically for the Instagram content flow, I saw a difference because of how much was given in the beginning, in terms of me sharing things that just felt really cool to people and very engaging, having no idea what I was doing, and just being fully immersed and engaged in the attention phase and in the vibes, as we call them. People were very, very excited and also just enjoyed that part of it. So it just made the process of feeling like, when you're selling something, as much as like you can be confident about being a salesperson, I'm not necessarily a person that wants to just be like, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this. I prefer for people to feel as if they've discovered something versus like they were being sold to. And I think that this was the best way to approach making people feel like they were a part of something special, as a part of being sold something. I mean, to be honest with you, it was more of like a personal highlight for me, even before, like, we had spent the time piecing together what content was going to go where and when, and getting all that together. It was a personal highlight for me to just be able to, like, the night before the drop, it was like that brain of like, we've been at this for a couple weeks. I do the thing. Then the night before the drop, I was looking like, okay, I missed something. And I think it's, like the time flew by, and then I got to that point of realizing that I had done all this work, or in creating the content, and not necessarily ever really considering that I could make that much content for that span of time. Never done that ever. Right. I know how to do this now. And I think everybody was, incredibly like responsive to like how dope the visuals were and whatnot. But personally, that was the biggest like highlight for me, that felt like I had never had that feeling. Like, it was very empowering. Not that you didn't say it, but I think I think it gave inspiration and a different understanding on how to look at content, and how to really take one thing, and it just made me look at the creative process differently. It wasn't such like a heady process. It was just more like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll add this filter because this matches the color of this, and then it just kind of funneled a lot of the things that I already am creating. I tried making shit and just posting it. I couldn't say that I haven't tried any system, and I didn't really try. I just made a thing, posted it. If people bought it, people bought it. If people didn't, they didn't. And that was it. And I looked at it as maybe, I didn't think about that this had something to do with strategy in particular. This is like, you're actually doing something. I don't know if necessarily people didn't think I was doing something, but at this point, the sheer volume of content, and clearly like mini chat working and collecting emails and going to the landing page, and just kind of the experience of it was way more curated. Y'all like it? Buy it, right? But I think curating the shopping experience, even for people who didn't buy, was like an impressive thing to people. Oh, I mean, listen, I'm already on schedule for the next one. like, I'm already like, okay, cool. Now I know what to do. Let's do the next one. Like, I'm like basically already prepared for the next drop in 6 weeks because of how this one came together, me learning it, even though this was the most challenging part, was getting my brain into the rhythm of like how the template is, of how much content I was able to create, and understanding why it's created in that way. And then seeing the response gave me a lot more data. And for me, that's enough. That's all the confidence that I really need, is just to have a system, see it work, and then just like, cool, rinse and repeat. I don't have to like reinvent the wheel every time I want to present a product or music or any kind of offering. It always will look different. And I think that people appreciate that I care enough to have a system in which to push things out. And I think that confidence being developed in knowing a system or understanding a system and using it also translates to people having more confidence in me as a person that they can entrust their money with. So whatever you're rushing to because you made something that you think is cool, it would be much cooler to other people if you put more energy and time into the presentation. Not even just the presentation, but the marketing aspect of things. It would add more value to the offering. And there's no rush. There's no reason to, like, it's like no one actually cares. No one's waiting for it, but you can help people to care by you showing that you place that amount of care and time into the entire experience of it. So yeah, just basically don't, there's nothing to rush to, especially if you feel like you got to rush, just don't do it.